Fiancé, JC, Mommy, Suelen, Liz. I am here representing Panama. I miss you so much, and I wish you could be here with me.
Imagine that for a second, Socks. Getting a recording from your mother who's at a beauty pageant talking about how she's representing Panama. This woman abandoned you to live in the United States with her sugar daddy. Jasmine goes on to blabber about how she's representing her country of Panama and she's so sad that the competition is nearing its end. She also says that this competition was a great distraction from her missing her family so much. And we can tell that she misses her family by how she prioritized Gino spending all this money on the beauty pageant over the legal fees to bring her children to the United States. Jasmine goes on to tell the audience that she wants to get her paperwork done ASAP so she can go back to Panama to see her children. Should have thought about that before entering a relationship on a sugar baby dating website with an American man. Obviously, going to America is going to take you away from your children. Not to mention, Jasmine isn't Mother of the Year for a number of reasons.
You ready?
Yes, ready. But ready or not, here we go.
Without further ado, Socks, it's time for the evening gown competition in the Miss International World Pageant. And as y'all are aware from the past couple of videos we've made covering the competition, her performance so far has been terrible for a number of reasons, to the point where if she ends up winning the competition, we know the fix is in. This is the CEO of the beauty pageant. She looks like Duchess from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, to be honest, so I'm expecting some clownery. We then see Gino in the crowd. He's very nervous for his wife because he wants Jasmine to win very bad, but is fully aware that she's stiff as a board out there, so he's not confident about her securing a victory royale. So Duchess calls the women out on stage, and right away we can see that the other women move in a more graceful, feminine way than Jasmine. It seems like Jasmine's in the wrong competition. She should be at the bodybuilding competition. Let's dab up Jasmine real quick, actually, because this is the first outfit that she doesn't look crazy in, so that's good. Snaps for her. Now, before the CEO that has flaming hot Cheeto hair reads out the winner, she informs us that there's subcategories. There's Miss International World Classic, Miss International World Latina, which is pretty lame that there's multiple winners. It just seems like something that you would do to boost the egos of the losers. Duchess then reads out the winner of Miss International World Supermodel, which is Estefania Snyder. Next is Miss Portada World, Miss World Global. They're just naming off all these BS titles to make these insecure women feel better about themselves. It's actually hella sad. Now, to be fair, this business does bank though, because over 30 women are competing. It costs over $1,000 for each woman to compete, let alone buying the dresses, which are wildly expensive, travel expenses, yada, yada, yada. Why sugarcoat it? I think this entire segment has blown a lot of our minds that these women or their partners have dropped around $5,000 to be given a fake tiara and have a couple people clap for them in a dark room, tell them that they're a beauty queen. Not worth. What happens next is shocking. The CEO then says Miss Latina International goes to Jasmine Panetta. Jasmine lights up like a Christmas tree. The entire audience is told to clap. Gino's in the front row being a supportive husband, filming her have her beauty queen moment. Wow, I found a wacky Reddit thread. Let's read it together as a family. Jasmine's pageant, edit. Miss Latina World is a title. The website just doesn't have it listed among the 2023 winners, but there is a title for it if you search their menu on the website. So I decided to Google search this Miss International World organization, and it's a legit organization. Only thing is, Jasmine's storyline is all fake. Her title of Miss World Latina or whatever is not even a title. The rest of the girls that won the other titles were real. If you look at the website, they're all listed on there. Jasmine is not in any of the pictures or listed as a winner. Another 90-day fraud storyline. As I clicked on the website and scrolled to the bottom, I found Jasmine's picture among the other women, and it very clearly says Miss Latina International Jasmine Panetta. So what it feels like to me, and I'd love to know your thoughts below, is because they were getting all this press from being featured in 90 Day Fiancé, they decided, let's just throw this girl a title. Cutscene of Jasmine telling the audience that she doesn't care that she didn't get first place. As long as she got her crown, she's happy. Jasmine adds that the beauty pageant has meant so much to her, and now it sucks that she has to go back to Michigan with Gino. And when she says this, I'm like, she goes on to say that her and Gino have to work out their relationship issues, and talking about these issues gives her a fair amount of anxiety, and she's not sure what the future holds for her and Gino, which once again is another interesting thing to say because the way she's speaking about it makes it seem like she's already formulating her exit strategy. We see Jasmine say goodbye to the other women at the pageant, and one woman in particular makes it a point to come up to her and tell her that she deserved to be a winner, which I found very sus. What happens next is funny. So Jasmine's taking some photos with the girlies, and while this is happening, Gino's getting FOMO. So he jumps in there and says, "Can you get a photo of us?"
Oh, take a picture of us. Good job.
Thank you.
You did it.
I did.
Oh, there it is, the sad clown Gino frown, ladies and gentlemen. Jasmine is terrible at showing gratitude. I'm very curious if she would be acting like this if Gino looked like Dane, her ex. Probably not. Jasmine then asks Gino to take photos of her, and while he's flicking her up, he's telling the audience that he believes the advice he's given her throughout the competition has helped her secure victory. So right now, he's confused why his wife is giving him the cold shoulder. And I agree with Gino when he says this, because not only has he been supportive about the competition, but he's also paid a huge expense for her to be here in the first place.
What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing.
No, you have like
I'm happy that you won the competition. I'm proud of you.
No, you are proud because I won.
Wait, what? Well, duh, of course. That's why he congratulated you in the first place, Jasmine, because you won and placed in the competition. But since you're being a jerk about it, I'm sure he wants to take the compliment back now.
I am very proud of myself, but I cannot pretend that this is a happy moment because I was so sad last night after all the things you said to me and your freaking behavior, pointing out once again that I am the problem.
Jasmine goes on to pick a fight with Gino, talking about how he puts her down all the time, which isn't true. If anything, he's been very supportive throughout the entire competition.
The audacity you have to be first row when I won my crown, you pretending that you were the lovely husband who's proud of his wife.
Okay.
We already knew Jasmine was crazy, but I can't believe that she's mad at her husband for sitting front row and showing her love on stage. It's just so brain dead and causes Gino to lose his cool for once and flip out on her because he's over the bullshit.
I don't like the tone of your voice and I don't like your attitude.
So this is the game you're gonna play.
Jasmine, the gaslighter, doesn't have an intelligent argument to present, and Gino goes on to say that he's been supporting her since day one in this competition. He has also been paying her bills not only in the United States, but in Panama as well.
How about all the immigration paperwork I'm working on now for your permanent residency?
Oh, brother, this couple's giving me whiplash because in the heat of the moment, Gino reveals that he didn't file her permanent residence paperwork, which causes Jasmine to go on the attack. She claims that Gino told her he submitted the documentation 3 weeks ago, and the episode ends with them arguing about this, but it picks up in episode 19.
You've been watching me fill out the paperwork just recently at home.
And you
I was
said,
asking you, I had you fill out a section of the paperwork because I needed you to fill
it out. And you said it was ready and to be submitted. So you didn't submit it.
So Jasmine straight up asked Gino if he submitted her paperwork, and he avoids answering the question like it's the plague.
No, you're not listening.
Did you submit the paperwork, yes or no?
Don't tell me yes or no.
This is a 54-year-old man that keeps lying, and once he gets called out for the lying, he acts worse than a child. It's so immature.
You were there when I was filling it out. Do you remember that? Yes or no?
Did you submit?
Do you remember that?
Did you submit the paperwork, yes or no?
3 out of 4 documents done, and I still have to do the other part.
Okay, sir, thank you for ratting on yourself. So you didn't submit the paperwork. It's so frustrating. Why didn't you lead with that? You know what I mean? Why do you have to throw a little hissy fit? And it's like someone has to jump through hoops to get the truth. It shouldn't be the case.
I haven't got to the other part yet.
So you
What
haven't.
don't you understand about that?
So you haven't.
No! I got 20% to do yet.
As we know, Gino will often lie to his wife in order to avoid arguments with her, which ends up being more of a shitstorm later when she eventually finds out that he lied. He thinks that Jasmine often misunderstands him and claims that he didn't finish the paperwork and submit it because it's very time consuming. Let's not forget that this man currently doesn't have a job. Right now, he's providing a lot of excuses. Another excuse that he provides for why he hasn't submitted her paperwork is that it's summer, and summer in Michigan is something that he should enjoy with Jasmine Jasmine since it's her first summer. And I don't like when he does things like this. What he does often is he will try to justify his laziness or when he doesn't do something he's supposed to do and try to paint it like it was for Jasmine's benefit, but it's for his benefit. Lindsay said that Gino enters relationships with financially down bad SWs, offers to put them on scholarship, and then later goes back on his word, uses money to control these women, chip away at their self-esteem, and over time, he wants them to be reliant on him and not leave. That's a reoccurring theme with Gino, is he's scared that these women are gonna pursue the other options they have, which is why he does things in order to possess them.
This could have been such a happy night for me.
Yeah, well then why do you gotta start all this bull with me?
Just asking about something that I have the right to ask.
So Jasmine tells Gino that he's crazy because right now he's getting on her about her tone, and we're way past tones. He got caught in another lie, and it's about something very important because until her paperwork is done, she can't go to Panama and return to the United States. She wants to see her family. She's communicated that multiple times, but he's been dragging his feet doing the paperwork. She walks away all the while calling Gino crazy, and he says, "Bye, Jasmine, bye." He has a really dismissive attitude about the whole situation. Gino goes on to say something outlandish to the audience, and that's that I've been trying my best to do the paperwork for Jasmine, but I guess it's not good enough for her. He's once again trying to place himself in the victim position, which is ridiculous. She's been in the United States for around a year, and you still haven't made the paperwork a priority. Otherwise, you would have got it done by now. Gino goes on to once again try to place himself in the victim position by saying, I'm really frustrated that nothing I do is ever right for Jasmine. Gino is a migraine and a half, and we can see that by how when we met this dork, he was dressing terrible, eating microwave meals, popping blue pills, and bragging to us about how he has all these blue pills. It just seems like someone that doesn't want to put in any effort. This is a guy that has gone through life by relying on his family because they play a big role, and we can see that by how anytime he has a problem with Jasmine, he runs to his family for advice. It doesn't seem like a self-sufficient adult to me as much as a man-child. Next, we see Jasmine walking outside at night. She's got sad girl vibes, and she tells the audience that Gino enjoys to see her suffer. She then brings up a really good point, which is Gino communicated to her and the entire audience that he quit his job in order to spend more time with Jasmine and take care of her immigration paperwork. Yet here we are present day, he still hasn't filed for her green card. The more Jasmine talks about it, the more irritated she becomes, so she walks up to their hotel room to confront Gino about this mess.
And why are you denying me from one of my basic rights to have a permanent resident? Why you haven't?
What are you talking about? I'm the one that's been working on all this.
Wow, no wonder Gino didn't want to hire an immigration attorney. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the control over the paperwork. As we know, Sock's action screams, talk whispers, and clearly from his actions, we can see that Gino doesn't want his wife to be able to come and go from Panama.
I just got to 80% on the paperwork. I still have 20% left.
That's the reason why you
What
haven't
don't you understand
applied
about
for
that?
Jasmine then asked Gino for her passport and legal documentation back, which I was unaware he was in possession of, and then he responds, well, if I give it to you back, Jasmine, you'll probably lose it. Such a red flag. You cannot hold someone's property. Their passport is their property. That is false imprisonment. We got big problems, Gino. Jasmine goes on to say he puts her passport somewhere only he has access to. So I'm unaware of whether that's a safe. She isn't specific about it. However, regardless, this is starting to feel like a true crime video. Let's run through this real quick. If you get in a fight with your wife and she asks for her passport back, your response should be, okay, babe, let me get your passport right now.
I've been very independent without you. Why do you think I'm so stupid that if I have my papers, if I have my passport, I'm gonna lose it?
I'll give you your passport.
Give
but
me my passport.
If you lose it, you get a new one.
Okay, bet, Gino, go get her passport, you weird fedora wearing head ass creep. This is just a reminder for everyone to take a picture of their passport because people like this are crazy. Angela did something very similar to Michael. Gino goes on to tell Jasmine, you can do all the paperwork yourself when you lose your passport, Jasmine.
If it's going to be this kind of stuff, I'm not going to do any more work on the paperwork until we are in a good relationship.
What? I can't believe he just said that. So he's going to use this argument as an excuse to take even longer to fill out her paperwork? I think that their relationship is nearing the end, and we know that they're not together present day. But after witnessing all this, we can see why They're clearly not a good match, but for Gino especially, he really needs to mature and start acting his age because he wouldn't be a match for any woman.
Why are you saying do the paperwork? It sounds like you're forcing me to do it.
Because having the paperwork means that I can go back to see my children, idiot.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's not the green card what I want.
Yeah.
It's the benefit of going back and seeing my children.
You can go back and see your children now.
When Gino says this to Jasmine, you can tell it catches her off guard because she's just staring at him after he says this, and then he says it again, and she's like, get out of this room, I don't want to spend the night with you. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna leave, Jasmine. Then Gino looks her dead in the eye and says, you leave, Jasmine. And she's like, okay, I'll leave. She grabs her things, and on the way out she says, enjoy your corn, because Gino is known to jerk off to corn. That's one of the reasons why Jasmine got all this cosmetic surgery, because he's been jerking off to his ex that had cosmetic surgery done, and he's obsessed with dancers, and he likes a certain kind of body type. So she thought that if I obtained that body type, he would be into me, be banging my brains out. Wasn't the case. Jasmine throws flowers at Gino on the way out and then says to the audience that she originally thought that Gino was a kind soul, and a lot of these promises that he made her, she assumed that he was going to live up to his end of the deal. Fast forward, he hasn't, and he's shown his true colors. And regardless of the relationship between Jasmine and her children, Gino, as the husband, should have got the paperwork done so that she can go back and see her family whenever she wants. To her, it felt like one big F you, and she's thinking, F me, no, F you. So she walks down to reception and says, my husband left a card on file. I'd like a room for the night. So she charges the room to his card. Episode 19 of Happily Ever After ends with them both saying they're not sure where their relationship stands. They're sleeping in separate hotel rooms. My wet socks, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this dog water couple. If you got some spare coin, please check out our Yourwetsock channel membership program for the custom emojis, the exclusive content, all ad-free videos, 10 out of 10, totally worth.